It's that time again. Welcome back into Inside the Game. You got some shades?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
what are those? All right. Well, where'd you get those?
Oh, I've had them for a long time. I had them for my time
Oh,
at
really?
Woodward
Okay.
Sports. But,
All right. Okay.
oh, Dave. Welcome to the 2-hour commemorative edition of Arsenal reaching the Champions League final. Exactly. Maybe if your team maybe did something in the Champions League, you'd get to wear cool sunglasses like myself.
Yeah, Ryan's gonna take an opportunity to take his victory lap. And you know, hey man, I love the uniform. I see you're blending into the background there, so that's
Yeah,
good.
there's some green stripes I didn't really think about, but at least for the Arsenal segment, I'm wearing it. So
Oh man, that's fun. Well, we had a couple. Both Ryan and I had a few wins yesterday that we were both happy about. Obviously, on the NBA side, I'm so sick and tired
that
of
didn't really matter
calling
to me, to be
baseball
completely honest
games
with you.
in the
If
middle of
they lost, I
playoff
could have cared
games.
less.
It is just completely maddening to be able to work through the middle of all that, but I did, and Pistons got the win yesterday. But the World Cup is coming up. We'll talk more about that here in a second. But yeah, I mean, if you want to take your victory lap, go ahead and do it. I'll let you do it.
Oh, I can do it. I've been, I can do it 100%. This is my moment. I don't even care. I don't even care for all the haters, because we already know that this guy Fabian's already going to be hating about Bukayo Saka and all this. But all I got to say is, freed from desire. La, 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 la. Come on. Champions League final. That's what I'm talking about. This team delivers in the big moments yet again. And I don't know what Arteta's found in this lineup, but this lineup is working. It's so free-flowing. This ain't quite the 2022 lineup that went like 7 for 7 and never lost a single game. But this team is not only delivering when they need to, but they are playing so well. They're playing so hard. When I see our sporting director, our GM, fighting with Diego Simeone on the touchline in the 95th minute, ooh, that just gets me fired up about that. I've never seen a GM in any sport fight the opposing coach in the middle of the game. I've never seen that. But apparently our guy, Andrea Berta, is doing that. And if I have to hear anyone bash Bukayo Saka's name one more time, he scores in the Bernabeu. He scores against Bayern Munich. He scores against Atletico Madrid. He scores against the Man Cities. And then yesterday, the biggest goal in Emirates Stadium history gets put in the back of the net right before halftime. And by the way, this guy, I don't think people realize, he's battling almost an Achilles tear like half the season already. For the last month or so, he has been dealing with an Achilles tear on his right or left Achilles. I forget which one. But he is delivering. Saka is turning up at the biggest moment. And you know what the best part about all of this is? Is all of a sudden all the haters went quiet yesterday. They all went quiet. All of a sudden the Man United fans, the Chelsea fans, the Tottenham, the Cities, all those fans were like, oh my God, this can't happen. This can't allow to happen. If I got to hear anyone else complain about our pathway to the Champions League final, and if I got to hear these Bayern Munich and PSG fans complain about this, guys, maybe just finish first in the table phase and you can get this pathway. Weird how that all works. And I also want to tell you something too, everyone out there, because a reason why I think Arsenal's going to win this Champions League final, A, we haven't lost a game period in the Champions League. 2, we've only given up 6 goals in the Champions League the entire season. How much has Bayern Munich and PSG given up? I don't know, 19 goals and 21 goals in a Champions League the entire year. Oh, weird how all of this works. It's so interesting. And we already got all these haters everywhere. I'm doing a TikTok live after the game. And everyone's like, lucky goal. Bayern's going to spank you. Last time I checked, Arsenal beat Bayern Munich. Last time I checked, last year, we were able to defeat PSG one time. And if we were able to take our chances last year in the second leg, we might have been in the Champions League final against Inter Milan. God, just love life. Yesterday was such a phenomenal day. The amount of times I listened to Freed from Desire, oh my God. I was singing it on the way here, thought I was going to lose my voice. But this, my friends, getting to a Champions League final for the first time since 2006, nothing better. Nothing better. And give me either side. I don't care either side because I think we're winning. I don't even care. This isn't even being a slappy either. Watching the way we play and watching the way that those two teams play, I said it the other day, Nate. PSG and Bayern Munich is that inner city football team that's got all the 5-star wide receivers, the 5-star quarterbacks, the 5-star running backs. But guess what they don't have? They don't have an offensive line. They don't have a defensive line. All of a sudden, they play a private school team from the burbs who's got an offensive line, has got a defensive line. Disciplined football. That's Arsenal. Disciplined, structurally sound. That's what we have over here. But I'm just saying. Dave, come on now. He says, lose your voice. We should be so lucky. Dave, lose the hearts again. That's all I got to say.
Dave, they haven't even won it all yet. Ryan's taking a victory lap, and they got to the final match. I mean, this guy's doing laps around people. What's that?
Because they were going to. And like, it's a one-game elimination.
Shot.
I've seen, dude, Miles Lewis Skelly. Oh my God, this guy too. I didn't even mention Miles Lewis Skelly. This 19-year-old just bossing the midfield as a 19-year-old. Which, by the way, Diego Simeone should be fired for what happened yesterday. No way in the world you should be playing 10 men behind the ball the entire game. And if I got to see Antoine Griezmann and Julian Alvarez get subbed off at the same time, and you bring in a whole bunch of no names into this team, I mean, come on. What are you doing? That's a fireable offense. That's like Dan Campbell just like, yeah, I don't know. We need some points on offense. Yeah, let me just bench Jared Goff for I forgot who our backup quarterback is because I thought it was Hendon Hooker, but Hendon Hooker's not on the team anymore. Yeah, let me just bench our starting quarterback and bench Jahmyr Gibbs because, like, I don't know. Like, that's just so stupid, Simeone. No wonder Andrea Berta wanted to fight you yesterday because you complain, you whine so much, you've got a horrible receding, you're going bald as it is anyway. I want to hear the excuses when they lose to PSG or Bayern Munich. Last time I checked, we beat Bayern Munich. Last time I checked, weird how that works, and we bossed them. Weird how that all works. And last time I checked with PSG, they're in a Farmers League, and they beat Inter Milan last year. So, hey, Fabian, can you tell me what time Real Madrid plays today? Can you tell me? What time does Real Madrid play? Just curious. Just curious. And don't give me any crap about these PKs yesterday because Trossard was fouled in the box yesterday. No call there. Antoine Griezmann literally ran through the back of him. No one called that. Oh, and then what happened in the last leg? A clear penalty gets overturned by VAR. I don't want to hear any BS excuses about PKs. I don't want to hear anything about these PKs. That's all I got to say because we were robbed of 2 PKs. I don't want to hear anything. Oh, I didn't even mention the red card that should have been called. I don't even want to know about the red card that should have been called at the end of the game on Gyökeres. Denying a clear and obvious goal-scoring opportunity, dragged them back. That's only a yellow? God, I love this team sometimes, man.
Yeah.
They're clicking at the right time.
I feel very vindicated in one way because I know we did our Who to Betta once, but it wasn't. I know we got one coming up today for the all sports section, but we did a soccer based one. Christian Pulisic.
Okay,
and
our Who to
Bukayo
Betta
Saka.
today is like 2 of the most mid basketball players I've ever seen in my life.
One's a Hall of Famer. But anyways, no, I will say
the NBA Hall of Fame is overrated. They just be putting in anybody.
Well, I think his impact is more than what this generation prioritizes. But what I will say, I do think that saying Bukayo Saka is better than Christian Pulisic, calling him, I forget what I called him once upon a time, but we had that one segment, and people just came out of the woodworks, and they were pissed, especially the Pulisic stands. And then we see what we saw yesterday and the impact he's making, even fighting through the injury. I mean, at his age, to
he can't even play a full 90 minutes. I don't even want him to play in the World Cup, to be honest with you, Nate. I don't want him to play.
A partial Achilles tear is just, I mean, we talk about, again, like ACLs don't bother me anymore. A lot of these other ligaments don't bother me anymore because of where modern science is. Achilles is a different story. So he's out there, and it's one thing, maybe if the stats have dropped off a little bit, but he's come up in clutch areas. And that's what matters for Arsenal to get them back to the final. But yeah, man, I mean, you haven't won it yet. I mean, I listen, I love the act. I love the shades. I love the energy. I love,
Look,
all of
if
it.
We win,
but
we win either one. I do not care. If we win the Prem, lose Champions League, I don't really care. But this whole notion that Arsenal stands no chance against Bayern Munich and PSG just baffles me.
I'm not going to say that. I'm just saying you might be taking a little premature victory lap here,
Nate,
that's all I'm saying.
This is something I've wanted for the last 15 years, and it finally showed up. I've witnessed the 10-2s. I've witnessed the heartbreak at the Allianz Arena time and time again. I witnessed us, losing at PSG, a game that we probably should have won. But hey, we're in the Champions League final. Anything can happen in a one-game elimination. We almost won the Champions League in 2006 against prime Barcelona with 10 men. We nearly did it. So, I mean, what's going to stop us from doing it? Maybe win it this time. But I just got to say, this could be one heck of a spring. I already got a Michigan National Championship. Maybe Dusty May's gone for all I know. I don't know. And with him being going to the Warriors, or maybe Dusty May, if you ever go to the Warriors, just trade Draymond Green right away. Just trade his ass. Just trade him. He sucks. He's so annoying.
So they could be a 500 team.
2.
Go ahead.
2, and then we got the Pistons making a little bit of a run. Again, I could have cared less about what they did yesterday. All I cared about was Arsenal winning. I could have cared less about what they did yesterday, to be completely honest with you, Nate. And then 3, give me some silverware with the Gunners. Give me some silverware. That's all I want.
You ever been to London?
No. I've been to London, Canada.
I'm not sure that really counts.
It's London.
You can go to a Gunners game. That's all I'm saying.
No, I will eventually make there
right.
one day in my life, but it's definitely not going to be this year. So maybe in like the fall when it's like hockey ends here. That's more of like Thanksgiving. So probably more like the winter. No, I want to go when it's a little bit warmer. Maybe next spring when it's right before the seasons get rolling here in soccer here in the States.
There you go.
May have to
an on-scene show. An on-scene show
up.
from London. No, man. But hey, all I'm saying is if they don't win the Champions League,
if we win the Premier League, I don't care.
Is that the moment where we bring Dave on, or we bring one of your Arsenal haters on?
No, because all I'm gonna say is we won the Prem. It won't matter. If we lose both, sure. But if we win the Prem, lose the Champions League, I do not care because we won the Prem. I don't care.
Just saying, you've been dreaming of this moment for 15 years. You got there.
I was
so now
just
they
dreaming of
finish
at least not getting embarrassed 10-2. Like that's like us losing 5-1 and 5-1 back-to-back legs against Bayern Munich back in the day. Oh my God, that was horrible. And then I got all the haters in the chat yesterday. Oh, it's a lucky goal from Saka. I don't know. Maybe tell the Atletico Madrid defenders to actually defend like a true soccer player instead of being schoolboy and all that fun stuff. Like I don't know. Do that. Maybe I don't know. Let Victor Gyökeres just run in behind completely free, unmarked. I don't know. Maybe do that too, guys. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. Oh, and then we could go to the Trossard penalty that should have been called, but yeah, that doesn't get called. Dude, Atletico played so scared yesterday. It was so awesome. Like, usually that's Arsenal in these moments, but it was Atletico. It was Atletico in these big moments. I don't know what it is. You guys are in the UCL final in first place in the Premier League. I congratulate you, Fabian. We're not done yet, and they know the job's not done yet. But we're going to take these 24 hours. The goal was not offsides. Fabian, shut up. It wasn't offsides. Last time I checked, when Trossard put the ball, when he kicked it, there was 2 players in front of him. Maybe tell those defenders to actually defend. Maybe that's why Real Madrid wins so much in La Liga, is because you've got the softest defenders in the world against a team that's in 4th place and 3rd place year in, year out. Maybe. But here's what I got to say. Here's what I got to say. We're going to take these 24 hours. We're going to enjoy it. I still got
we're going to take the next 2 hours and enjoy it, clearly, because you're flying on 10 right now.
Look, we got 10 more hours until I can really, got to lock back in a little bit. And the guys obviously know it too. They've said it in the press conferences, job, as JJ McCarthy said, job not finished. Job's not finished yet. They know it too. They all know it. But to those fans, and I didn't even mention the fans yet. I didn't even mention the fans. Nate, remember in 2021 Michigan Ohio State, where at least me personally, and all the fans have said it too, like there was no sense of being scared about losing to Ohio State. It was like we want it. It was a switch. Like it was hunger. Yeah. It was we want it now. Mm-hmm. Since that Man City game, because Tyler Adams mentioned it with Bournemouth when Bournemouth beat Arsenal a couple weeks ago. Tyler Adams mentioned on the Men in Blazers podcast, which Men in Blazers are so funny, by the way. Tyler Adams mentioned that it was so scared there. Like they were playing to not lose. Since that Man City game, since that we lose, everyone goes level on points, all that fun stuff, there's been a switch. I don't know what happened, but yesterday Wayne Rooney's out here talking about how the great Old Trafford, the theater of dreams. He goes, this environment was way better than anything I've ever played in Manchester United. And I've played in Champions League finals. He said that himself. The players mentioned it. They talked about it. Hey, Schrock's in their big sunglasses inside guy. Hey, when your team makes a Champions League final, we can rock them.
My man had some fun last night, so that's why
Clearly, I went to bed at like 10 o'clock. Yeah. Hey, which, by the way, I got a fun. Make sure you guys follow Sports Nation TV on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook, because I'm going to be posting some really funny videos about what I'm going to be doing here tonight, later on, I think like 9 o'clock tonight. There's going to be some really funny things. I might have to show it. If we got time on Friday, I might throw them up on the show. Obviously, no show tomorrow, but we have one on Friday. I will throw up some of those videos because I think it'll be a good laugh on Friday. We'll probably open the show with the videos I'm going to take today. But anyway, the fans, I think, are now turning into the 2021 Michigan football fans. It's all about hunger. It's no longer about this fear. Look, we've had it the last couple of years. We've been blown out by Ohio State. We've been blown out by Manchester City. We are finally at this moment. And the fans yesterday, they were like, I don't even think they sat down. I don't even think they sat down for a full 90 minutes. They were up on their feet. They were screaming. They were chanting, and that helped the players. Saka mentioned it in this. Saka was so pissed off that he had to do a post-game interview on the field. He goes, "You're taking me away from the celebrations. I don't want to do this anymore. Like, you're taking me away from these celebrations." And he's like, the fans were unbelievable. When we rode in today, it was unbelievable. And I think the fans are finally realizing that they are this close away from winning something massive. They are this close. They are literally 3 games away from winning the Prem. They are 90 minutes away from winning a Champions League final. They are 90 minutes away. This has not happened in 20 years. This hasn't happened in 20 years. They're so close. And the fans are starting to realize that they're uplifting this team. They are the ones that are taking this team just to that next step. And I think all the pressure has gone out the window with this team. I think they're just out there and they're like, you know what? F it. Let's go out here and ball.
Fun.
And Schrock, hey, bet at 10 p.m. just means you were efficient, and I respect that. Hey, I was efficient throughout the day. I did a lot of stuff. A lot of videos were made, and a lot of clips were made. Some interviews were done. So yeah, no, I thought I was pretty efficient. Oh, and I got my lift in yesterday. Got my little boxing cardio workout in. Now I got to look at some speed bag work. But we're good. We are good. It was an efficient day yesterday. It was a very happy day yesterday. My mom, she saw I put on the Arsenal game. She walked out of the room. She's like, "I'm not watching this game with you." I'm like, "Mom, we are 15 minutes away from going to a Champions League final. 15 minutes away." And oh my God, the best part about yesterday is I didn't even feel nervous one time. Like, this team dominated yesterday, from first whistle to the final whistle. When my guy Andrea Berta was fighting Diego Simeone on the touchline, and then we got. Oh my God, this was hilarious too. The ball goes to the bench of Arsenal, the ball goes out. They just tuck that into the stands. They're like, "Go keep it." Just to the fans. Keep the ball. Then they're all getting yellow cards, which may hurt us which won't hurt us anymore. But man, what a day! What a day!
Victory lap continues on the other end. Also talk about a little bit about the World Cup. Kansas City, apparently the bars are going to be open for 23 hours come World Cup time. So I feel like Ryan could have used that yesterday.
Probably.
23-hour bar to celebrate his Arsenal championship.
Nate,
or getting to the championship, I should say.
Nate, I have never screamed "Freed from Desire" so much yesterday in a 6-minute car ride to my aunt and uncle's house to use the gym. I just was screaming it. No, Fabian, I'm not going to do jiu-jitsu. But I've just been using punching bags and speed bags as my cardio now, because I could do that for 10 minutes and get a way better cardio session in than doing a 3-mile run that I typically do on most days. Just saying.
Yeah.
And all it did was cost me $30 to buy gloves.
We'll be right back here on Inside the Game. Let's talk about FC Bayern summer soccer camps. Proud sponsor of the National Soccer Network, fostering football excellence across North America. Open to boys and girls of all skill levels, FC Bayern camps deliver elite training inspired by FC Bayern Munich's world-class philosophy. Select your city and start a promising soccer path. And right now, save $30 on registration by using promo code Bayern NSN30, or you can scan the QR code on your screen. Learn more at fcbayernyouth.com.
So the dream behind Irene's was simply to be a place where the community could come and gather. This is my hometown, we're raising our family here, and we just want to be a space where people can come together as a community and share a great meal. We've got golf simulators, we got pinball, live music, trivia nights, but we also have fresh, always homemade, locally sourced food, and we serve it with a sense of Gemütlichkeit. This is a German word that conveys a sense of warmth and coziness and belonging. We're excited to show off how we're growing and that this is the place to be.
We're back in on Inside the Game here, episode number 283 here on the National Soccer Network. Nate Wangler and a crazed Ryan Glinsky after Arsenal punched their ticket to the Champions League final yesterday with their win. Again, I feel very vindicated saying Bukayo Saka is the man. Took a little while, but finally came back around. I wanted to work this in. I know we're going to talk about Christian Pulisic coming up here in a little bit. Apparently wanted by Man United. I know his contract is expiring
Not doing
here.
it.
At AC Milan. But the World Cup will be here before we know it. Everything we've been doing at this network has been building up really to this this summer and this moment where the world will come to the United States. And you and I were talking about it this morning. You had actually mentioned it. The bars will be open for 23 hours in Kansas City during the World Cup. So all but 1 hour of the day, the bars will be open in Kansas City when the World Cup comes to the United States. And I got to say, I mean, when you got people coming from every corner of the earth, first of all, they're going to be a little jet lagged, right? Their body's not going to understand that it's time to go to bed. It's going to be 1 a.m. and they're going to be up like it's noon. So I think for these bars are going to get plenty of business, number one. But number two, shout out Kansas City, man. I don't think I've ever heard of a 24-hour bar before in my life. But they're going 23 hours. You need the 1 hour to clean up and make sure everything's,
Yeah,
okay
you got to restock everything.
Business, but yeah, exactly.
So real quick, our IT guy, James Schofield is in the chat. He's like, Ryan looking cool in those shades. James, where are you? You were literally, I was literally talking to you like 20 minutes ago. And when I went to go step out of the studio for a second, you weren't there. What do you do? James, where'd you go? Okay. Appreciate it, James. Appreciate it, my guy. I would say these bars being open 23 hours, I think it's a great idea. I think obviously the business aspect, I think you're going to see businesses for the next, it's like 2 months, 2-month tournament, month and a half tournament, something like that. Probably like a month. I think it's a couple more weeks than normal. I think it's like 2 extra weeks. I think you're going to see a lot of businesses be open a lot longer. Not just the bars, the restaurants too, maybe the boutiques or whatever. I think you're going to see, and I mean, if you're being honest, I'm sure if you're a traveling fan from all around the world, you're going to want some USA memorabilia. James, you're in the other room? Okay. I didn't see you when I walked out. Okay. All right. James locked in on the IT. He's making sure that our broadcast runs smoothly this summer because, man, we got a busy summer, not only with the World Cup, but with all the games we're broadcasting here on our network. Which, if you guys are interested in watching some USL2, USLW, UPSL, WPSL, MWPL soccer, tune into our network.
ABCD, LMNOP.
USL Academy. Dude, we're locked in this summer. But no, I think we're going to see lots of places be open a lot longer just because you mentioned the whole jet lag thing. Like when I was in Las Vegas, I mean, this was 2020, February of 2020, right before the pandemic started. At that time, I was in high school, so I was still like sleeping in to like 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock if I could. And when I was in Vegas, I was always up at 7:30. Like, no matter what the time is.
Oh, it's brutal.
So a lot of these, with a lot of the all the soccer letters. Yes, James. So many different. It's a joke around here. We got so many different letters of teams, man. It's hard to keep up. But all these fans and all these people from all around the world, they're still going to be used to their mental clock, their sleep clock.
Yeah.
So it's going to be. So you're going to have to keep things open just for them to, make sure to pass the time and enjoy the nightlife here. And I also did see, so shout out who's the Atlanta Falcons owner? I know what he looks like, but shout out that guy yesterday who said, Arthur Blank. Shout out that guy too yesterday because he was asked about, ticket prices and asked about, concession prices and asked about everything inside Mercedes-Benz Stadium, which I don't even think they can call Mercedes-Benz Stadium during the World Cup. And they actually had to block off the Mercedes logo on the side of the stadium, which I don't know if you did. I don't know if you saw that, but they have to do that. Mm-hmm. But he mentioned, they were like, well, are you going to up your prices? He's like, no, I don't really think so because people pay so much, to be in our stadium for SEC championship games, bowl games, Atlanta Falcon games, Atlanta United games, all that different type of stuff. And he goes, I ain't changing my prices. He's like, it's $5 for, I think he said a beer and a pizza or something. And then it's $3 for nachos. I guess the prices are pretty low there in Atlanta. But shout out that guy too. But the economic boom and the economic, price, the amount of money that these cities are going to make during the World Cup, just in these businesses alone. To be honest with you, I wouldn't mind being an Uber driver for a month in the summer there because all my prices would be jacked up. It's going to take $100 to go down half a block.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody's going to benefit from it, certainly. But getting into the Christian Pulisic conversation here.
Real quick. How long do you think you could spend in a bar at one time without leaving the bar? How long do you think you could spend? You're with your best drinking buddies or just people you want to surround yourself with. You've got good food already for you. You can just order that and you can drink. How long do you think you could spend in a bar?
Am I getting after it or am I just enjoying my day? I'd probably 6-7 hours, right? Yeah, 6-7 hours.
Bro, this guy, he just.
Sorry.
Okay, I would say.
Sorry.
I think I could do an 8-hour shift. I can do an 8-hour shift at a bar.
Yeah. Okay.
Especially if I got.
All right. You're working at the bar, or are you just being?
No, I'm just hanging out, having a good time.
Here?
Probably wearing my shades in another enclosed environment because that's just the smartest thing to do is wear shades in enclosed environments.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, exactly. I feel like I said earlier, I felt like the shades are more of a choice for the morning after.
Okay, so we got a couple people talking. They go, James says it's open 23 hours, right? He's gonna do the challenge, I guess. Fabian, I've spent
the 23-hour challenge.
23-hour challenge at the Kansas City bar. I've spent $1,500. Fabian said, and then Dave says eating is cheating. Well, you're still spending money at the bar.
Well. Eating is cheating in the way of if you're in there to drink as much as possible, food, absorbs the alcohol. So, I guess if that's, that's the angle he's going after, but is this the same? Yeah, I get it. No, my strategy is always Jimmy John's gives out these foot long day old breads. They're 50 cents. you eat one of those before you go out anywhere, and you're good to go because the bread absorbs every last little bit. Ask Schrocky. Schrocky, if he's still in the chat right now, he'll drop in a comment here because I told him about that strategy once upon a time, and it is foolproof. I'm telling you
What?
guys.
Sorry,
You gotta
Fabian put a comment in, and now I got to bring the photo in to see if I look like this guy. Sorry,
Oh
what was
boy.
the strategy?
No, yeah, eat a bunch of bread before. Get one of those day-old 50-cent breads from Jimmy John's. Do that, and then go to the bar for your 23
Yeah, no, that's
hours.
definitely
You'll be all right.
that's definitely a good strategy. Would I do that?
That's what I'm
Probably not,
saying.
because I would feel like crap. But this is who Fabian thinks I look like. He thinks I look like Tom Cruise from that 80s movie.
I can see it.
Tom Cruise, basically.
Yeah. Yep. You are going very 80s-esque, and for some reason the jersey does kind of with all the emblems on it. I mean, it's certainly there's a lot of resemblance there. All right. No, that's a flattering comparison there, Fabian.
I'll take Tom Cruise, Fabian. I appreciate it, my man.
Heck yeah.
I'll take that I look like Tom Cruise any day of the week.
It was called syndrome once upon a time. That's not the most flattering thing.
Let's see. Hold on. Okay, we got a couple people talking about this whole food thing. We might have to put the Pulisic conversation on pause. All right, so we got. You think I look like Tom Cruise from Risky Business? Okay. Let's see. I
can see that too.
I mean,
it's
the same person, and he's got like the same glasses. So, I mean,
yeah,
I'll put it in.
I feel like that one's a little more accurate too.
Okay. We got a lot of things going on here.
Maybe
James
not the one
said he did 12 hours on St. Patrick's Day. Shout out. James says eating is legally required 30-minute lunch break we get for our drinking shift. Hey, if you're putting in more than 8 hours, I mean, I guess you're allowed to have at least a 30-minute shift, right?
Yeah, 23 hours. You better eat something. I mean, unless you want to be violently ill, which I guess it's not a 23-hour bar if you're not in the bar for 23 hours, right? Like there's no reversals here.
Schrock is in the chat, and he mentioned that the bread strategy has extended. What exactly did he say? The bread strategy has extended my life 6 years.
Hasn't it? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No reversals. Not on my time. I don't know where I learned that, but yeah, bread is a lifesaver.
I mean, I typically eat like a Chipotle bowl like 4 hours before I do like something serious like that. So like,
okay.
I guess
that's a strategy.
I still get my protein. You just don't like bread. And everything like that.
You don't like bread.
Okay, so this is Tom Cruise Risky Business.
Okay. I'm thankful you didn't put the scene of him dancing around in his undies on here. Yeah, that could have been another angle you went with. But yeah, I think that one's a little bit. Man, you should wear that suit jacket on the show. There you go, and then it would be perfect.
I do have a gray kind of suit jacket that kind of looks like that. It's not really a suit jacket, but right. James says Ryan's on his way to the danger zone. I guess so. I mean, I'm basically going to be riding into the danger zone the last couple weeks here of the soccer season. Let's see. White Castle after drinking, says Fabian. Schrock says mistakes were made. Schrock says mistakes were made, and I am a better man for it. LOL. Schrock, man, I hope you didn't have any serious mistakes or anything like that. But
no, he's just learned. He's learned over the years. You gotta give him a little bit of credit there. Schrocky was new to the whole. It wasn't much of a. He didn't really drink at all once upon a time. Now he's on Corona time all the time, even if he's like working on his roof or in his backyard or whatever. So it's always a good time for a Corona with Schrocky. But yeah, so any other Tom Cruise comparisons, go ahead, drop them into the chat because they're flowing here today. Do you leave the sticker on your glasses, by the way, or is those one of those ones that you can record with?
It's a White Claw. So I got them through when I was doing Woodward, the White Claw Tigers tour. So we'd like go to like different bars and stuff, and the White Claw guy gave me the White Claw sunglasses. No, it's not a sticker. It's just like it might be a sticker. No, it's not a sticker. Oh my god, it's so bright.
Oh man.
No,
Oh.
no, it is not a sticker. So it's just a White Claw logo. Ryan, don't cry if Arsenal loses. I'll probably cry if they win. So either way, I'm probably gonna cry. So
There's gonna be,
Nate
and
knows the
that's again.
mistakes that were made. LOL. I will have a Modelo here and there. LOL.
I do, but they were great mistakes. You know, they were formative mistakes. So
Does it make good memories? Does it make for good stories later on down the line?
Absolutely.
Okay, then obviously we're good. We're good to go.
You know, I mean, flat tire, changing it in the middle of downtown Miami. Just some fun stuff with Shraki and I. Also accidentally watched a 2-time Cy Young winner, which was interesting. That whole trip was weird. Miami's a great place. It's a destination. All right, like I'd say there. I'd say obviously Los Angeles, which did that experience once, never going to do that again. Yeah, probably New York I would put on there is probably like the top 3. Chicago's probably on there as well. I don't know, but it's a destination. Water's a different kind of blue down there. I will say that.
All right, a couple more comments. We should probably go to a break and then talk about Pulisic, but we'll get to these last couple of comments. You guys are absolutely wonderful today. Love all the support. Make sure to hit that like button if you guys haven't already. Ryan's living that ain't no loss with White Claws life. Appreciate it, James. Fabian, Detroit Tigers bench is cleared. Arsenal won and Pistons played. Pistons won again, fortunately.
Yeah.
Almost said unfortunately. Which, by the way, I tuned into ESPN Cleveland yesterday because I know Kevin was on. Dude, Kevin was crashing out. Kevin Arnold yesterday, who we had on the show yesterday, was crashing out on ESPN Cleveland yesterday. So that was wonderful loss. He was just complaining about the turnovers, which if you're getting locked up by Duncan Robinson a little bit, there might be an issue with your basketball game. Dave, the future's so bright. I gotta wear shades. 100%. The Arsenal future is so bright right now, and I'm loving it. And then Fabian, I watched the movie last night, Draft Day, and thought of the Detroit Lions. Well, that one was actually about the Browns. I don't think the Lions were even mentioned in it at all because the Seahawks are mentioned in there because they're like the trade partner. I mean, the Lions definitely will not do anything like that on draft day. So I'm glad you thought of the Lions, though. They'd probably be stupid to trade all their 1s and all their 2s for like the foreseeable future to draft it was a linebacker number 1 overall or whatever it was. That'd be very Lions-esque.
Interesting. Coming up next here on Inside the Game, we'll talk about Christian Pulisic. We can also mention the USL and their agreement with the players that's been agreed upon, the collective bargaining agreement. All that and more coming up next here on Inside the Game.
Experience the thrill of the game like never before with NSN's Game Rewind. Dive into full match commentaries enhanced with cutting-edge dynamic graphics, letting you relive the highs and lows of your favorite matches in astonishing detail. Whether it's a championship win or a legendary play, NSN Game Rewind bridges the past and future with a broadcast experience designed to captivate. Call 586-304-4405 and start watching today.
Back in live and Inside the Game, Nate Wangler, Ryan Glinsky, a.k.a. Tom Cruise Jr. today here on the show.
That's
number
high praise. I'll take that
283.
any day of the week. It's better than being called Marcus Mariota. I used to be called Marcus Mariota. I was like, dude, I don't want to be Marcus Mariota, man. I know he throws touchdown passes to himself, but I don't want that.
maybe the Hollywood actor Tom Cruise, maybe not all the other stuff Tom Cruise, but yeah, I hear what you're saying. That is high praise for his heyday as an actor was better than most. He was at the top of his game
You
for
just
a
won't see
while
me
there.
dangle off the side of
Yeah,
an airplane. So
yeah, that's
as it
fair.
takes
Well, you got a
off.
stunt double for that. Unless did Tom Cruise do all of his own stunts? I don't know. I mean, I probably he did. I have no idea, but I know they got people for that. But let's get into the Pulisic conversation at long last here, Ryan. Apparently wanted by Manchester United, potentially on a transfer. That's been the rumor that he might go to United. Obviously, once in the Premier League, Christian Pulisic, but looking at potentially a return to the Premier League. Couple of reasons why I think this is a good idea. You could also go the other direction and say it's not a great idea, but here's just a few. I'll just break down a few reasons. First of all, I think the whole technical versatility that Pulisic has shown at AC Milan has been really promising, especially for a team like United, who's trying to really restructure things. Obviously, he didn't fit into the mold at Chelsea, but I think he has evolved significantly since his time at Chelsea. And I know we've talked about how obviously Italian football is not what it used to be, but Christian Pulisic has shown really elite output. I mean, 88 goal involvements. I know he's been dealing with the injury, but I think in terms of his versatility and playing really across that front line for AC Milan, including being a false nine at times, it is really something for United that they want to take advantage of. And again, the growth since that point. But also on the side of AC Milan, the expiring contract. I mean, you could deal him now or you can lose him at a much lower price later on. And so I think for them, the urgency of trying to find something of value for Christian Pulisic after what this season has been for that team, which is not, I don't think, what they were expecting or what anybody was expecting, it would be a smart business move. But the other part that I'll say, and Tim Howard actually kind of echoed this sentiment on his podcast, and he talked about the trajectory of Christian Pulisic's career. And obviously he's getting closer to 30 years old, but mentioned how there are a lot of players that get into the Premier League early, don't really find their spot, leave, and then have an opportunity to come back. I mean, he was comparing his trajectory to people like Kevin De Bruyne and Mohamed Salah. Now, I don't know if he quite reaches the level of those guys in coming back to the Premier League, but what I will say is that his game has matured. And what was the one knock that we always said about Christian Pulisic? Dealing with the physicality of the Premier League. Can he deal with that level of physicality? Didn't the first time around. I think he's physically matured a lot more since that point. So I think he's more ready for it now. But also, squad needs too. I mean, this is someone that he could certainly fill a spot at Man United. But is Tim Howard correct in saying that now he's more ready to perform in the Premier League than he ever was before? I think he has matured quite a bit since that point. Obviously, I think the injury issues are a concern, but on the side of AC Milan, it's probably the right move to let him go, at least at this point. But I think he has matured a lot physically speaking since Chelsea, and I think maybe that feeling of leaving a lot on the table, which he did his first time around in the Premier League, could certainly drive him forward. I don't think it's a terrible idea. I don't think it's a terrible idea.
Yeah, I think it's a horrible idea for Christian Pulisic. What is his biggest knock? What is the biggest knock on Christian Pulisic? He's soft. If things aren't going his way, he gets all up in his head. This is one of the 4 or 5 clubs in the world where if you're not performing, you might never come back from. Manchester United, they will, and I told you what's going to happen with this club. They are going to probably promote Michael Carrick or bring in a new manager that's got a lot of high praise and all that fun stuff. Then it's going to go sour really quickly when they don't get results, and Pulisic might not perform, and the fans will turn on you in an instant at Manchester United. It's a toxic club. It's a toxic environment inside this club. And Pulisic, I think, it's the same reason why I didn't even want him to go to Chelsea in the first place. It's toxic. There's so many different players battling for every single position. Like, if I were to look at the Manchester United roster right now, just from looking at the forwards, the midfielders, I don't think he starts over Brian Mbuemo. I don't think he starts over Mateus Cunha, and he's clearly not going to go up the middle with Benjamin Šeško because Pulisic's not going to even be strong enough to be a true number 9 inside the Premier League. So I don't even think he starts over those two players because those are two players that, Carrick has really favored in his time at Manchester United so far. I get the, he started there, left, comes back. I get that whole point. But I just don't see a place where Christian Pulisic is going to thrive in the Premier League, especially in a side like a Manchester United. Because if you don't perform, they're going to get pissed at you. And that's not what we want from Christian Pulisic. I didn't like the Chelsea move ever. I get the points that you laid out. Maybe he's matured and all this and that. I get all those points. He's not going to do anything the most solid. I'll tell you that right now. That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
But Pulisic is such a moody player. It's so up in his head if he doesn't score goals. It's kind of in a way, Pulisic in a way is kind of Javi Baez in a way where you're going to get some really, really big highs and you're going to get some really, really big lows.
I mean, to that point, what is Baez, where has he performed the best in his career?
With good teams. Manchester United's not a good team.
They're not performing right now? I mean, from everything
that
I've
see
seen
what this
and what
team
I've
looks
read,
like when they're traveling on all fronts. I got to see exactly what team they're traveling on all fronts. The reason they are performing so well is because they have no other competition to worry about except the Premier League. That's the only one. And the way that the games have looked against the big sides shows that there's no sign of progress at all. It's the other teams are dominating us. We're going to capitalize on mistakes. There's no sign of this Manchester United team currently that will say that I believe that this team could make a deep run or compete against a Man City, Arsenal, or Liverpool. There's really nothing. Even against Liverpool, they were just mistakes. That's all it was. I don't see there's nothing about this Manchester United side that impresses me whatsoever. There's nothing. And Pulisic should stay away from this.
I don't know how you take that away from it. I mean, they're a top 3 team in the Prem. Also, let's talk about, there's rumors, and now mind you, this whole transfer of Pulisic going to the United is just a rumor to begin with. It's picking up steam. Obviously, we've caught on to it, and it's very much a probability. But you think of some of the exit strategy of some potential departures for this team too. I mean, they have a few players that might be on their way out. Rashford, Sancho. I mean, those two guys might be on their way out as well.
They're on loan with their other clubs. They're not on the current roster right now.
But the point is they need a productive winger. I mean, that's the point.
Even if
Pulisic isn't necessarily a starter, I mean, you talk about valuable depth on a team that right now is 3rd in the Prem. I mean, they're winning. And from what I've seen, again, from what we've read, from what the players are talking about, they love Michael Carrick. Now, if you can say that the front office,
then promote him. They should have promoted him already. If they loved him so much, they should have promoted him, but they haven't.
I absolutely agree. Also, I know it's tough to play in a tough environment like that. I mean, I think about it in the same way of a guy going to play in a city like New York or Philly. I mean, if you play bad for 1 or 2 games, that's a city that turns on you like that. I can't say that for every American city, but I certainly can say that for New York. They just do things differently over there. And so, yeah, obviously, but and he has been sensitive and he has been soft, and we've seen that from especially in the midst of what this drought has been and battling the injuries. But you can't say that there's nothing to Man United or that there's nothing there for him. It's a chance to prove himself after flaming out at Chelsea. And clearly they see something in him. So I don't, maybe in the long run it's not. Of course, it would just be. I don't think it would be a permanent thing to have him on United. But
it would have to be a permanent thing. If you're going to make a big move like that from AC Milan to Manchester United, it's going to have to be a permanent thing.
I guess. Yeah, I guess. But it is tough for me to say.
There's no way that it wouldn't. If you're going to spend $70 million on a player, he's going to be there for more than 2 years. That's just the reality of it.
Yeah. But I mean, it's a chance for him to reestablish himself in the Prem. So
sure,
I don't,
but
like I said, to say that.
This is one of the worst situations that this man could go to. One of the worst situations. It's like he's not learning from his mistakes. It'd be like going back to Chelsea. That's basically what it is. It is they're going to overpay, they're going to overbuy players, they're not going to be able to compete. It's the same cycle with Manchester United. I've been over it time and time again. If Michael Carrick was the guy, they would have promoted him by now. They would have promoted him by now, and he would have got all of his scouting situations and all the targets that he would want to buy this summer ready to go. However, Carrick's not doing that because why? Because he's not the permanent manager. He is the caretaker manager at the moment. And they're going to, Manchester United will most likely bring in another manager is what my guess would be. Because Carrick in his times as being a manager has consistently done this after things have gotten rolling. He's consistently did it. He did it at Middlesbrough. And he's probably going to do the same thing at Manchester United. But there is nothing about this current group of Manchester United players, this Manchester United team, that tells me that they're going to be able to compete on all four fronts. There is nothing.
I mean, you can say that you don't, and I agree. They should have already. I think Michael Carrick is perfectly capable of being the man for Manchester United, but you can't deny the results that we've seen from him since becoming that guy.
Nate,
I mean,
the
10
results
wins,
are
2 draws, 2 losses,
he got
14
gifted
games.
goals against Man City and Arsenal, and since then there is
you're
not
just
a result
making
that I have seen
excuses.
that has truly impressed me with the way that they've played.
You're just
There is
making
nothing that has impressed me.
excuses. These winning games.
How is it excuses?
I mean, what?
It's Nate,
for
watch
winning
the
matches.
games. There's nothing impressive about this team. There's nothing.
So when people were saying all the time that Arsenal was just good because they were just good on set pieces and they were boring in the way that they play, but it was effective. They were winning matches.
Nate,
They're like, you can't deny that.
Nate, there are certain ways where you can tell a team is going to dominate games and they're going to be a dominant force in Europe and in the Premier League. The way they play and where they're gifted goals, where all they're really doing is trying to pounce on mistakes. They don't have a true identity for this team yet. There's nothing. They're just out there just playing. And when you finally get into next year, a blank space, and you finally are able to do what you want to do, I don't know how it's all going to work because there's no identity with this team. You know what's basically happening with this Manchester United team is basically what the U.S. men's national team was doing when they beat Japan, Uruguay, and all those teams. There's no true identity. They're just out there playing. There's no identity with this team. It's the same thing with United. There's no identity. I think Bruno Fernandes is an unbelievable player, and I think he should move on and become a player at a big-time club. But there is nothing that Michael Carrick has done where I'm like, you know what? There might be something.
You don't think
there.
he's trying to establish that identity?
He's an interim. He's a caretaker. He's not a permanent manager. You're just riding the ship. It's the same thing as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. It's the same story. It's the same exact thing.
Yeah. All I'm saying is if the players, like, if they had their druthers or if they had their way about it, he would be there. I get it.
Sure, but then why haven't they made the decision yet? It's not like the Tampa Bay Bucks are in season right now.
Yeah. No, I get it. Yeah, you and I can meet halfway on this if we're going to go after say the front office doesn't know what they're doing. But at the same exact time, would it be a risky business decision for Christian Pulisic? Yes, but I also think getting out of Italian football, it probably would not be the worst choice ever. You want to get back to the top domestic league in the world. And so I wouldn't blame him one iota for wanting to go to Manchester United. But if you and I are gonna agree on one thing and blame the front office for their lax approach to securing someone in Michael Carrick, who I think could easily establish an identity in a winning culture,
be the manager.
Then yes,
I think he should be the manager.
Well,
but
wish I could reach through the screen and shake your hand right now.
He should be the manager. Yet at the same time, he's not doing what a full-time manager does. He is just putting stuff in place. And this team,
the expectation isn't there yet. Yes, exactly.
And when this team is playing 3 times a week, they're not going to have the squad depth to do it. And when they're hopefully they don't lose to Grimsby Town in the Carabao Cup or the FA Cup, whatever it was this year, in the first round, because they're going to make a deeper run in the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup, and that is going to hinder their chances of making runs into the Premier League.
They're not gonna have the depth to do it. That's your point that you're getting at. Like, what we're seeing right now is just kind of a farce.
No, we've gone completely off the whole Pulisic thing. I think Pulisic should stay away from this club as far as possible. I don't care what he does, but this United team is not. I don't think they're capable of even doing it, of competing on all 4 fronts. They've shown absolutely nothing. They've shown no proof that they can do it, and I don't think they can.
People are going to keep calling you a slappy man, but I love it.
I literally defended this club not too long ago, literally the other day, and then everyone got mad at me for it again. So, but Pulisic should not go to Manchester United. That is not a club I think he should go to. If anything, of the other Premier League clubs that are out there, I think better fits would be Aston Villa. I think Liverpool would be a better fit. Dare I say Arsenal would be a better fit, even though I don't think go after this summer. But Pulisic should stay away from Manchester United because it's all up here with Pulisic. That's all it is. And this is the exact opposite club, maybe outside of Real Madrid and Barcelona. This is the exact opposite club that you go to is Manchester United. You do not go to Manchester United if you're a fragile player like Christian Pulisic when it comes to up here. It's not the place you go.
Should be an agent, man. I mean, if it was up to you, like he'd be on Arsenal. He'd be on the Gunners tomorrow, man.
No, because I think when it comes to Arsenal, the issue when it would come to Arsenal is I don't know if he would necessarily get all the playing time there because you've got Madueke, Martinelli, Saka, all those guys. I wouldn't even really want Christian Pulisic on this team, to be completely honest with you, because I think it kind of goes his play style would. I think Arteta doesn't want weak-minded individuals, and I think Pulisic is a little bit weak-minded in the head a little bit. Sorry,
no, you're good.
No one out here is making documentaries and complaining about how harsh the media is towards me. Him and Arteta would not go well together.
Well, USA Soccer is going to make him the focus because, I mean, he's our guy. Let's just hope he's our guy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not disagreeing with that point.
Yeah, but let's talk a little bit about what's going on here on the home front, on the other end here on Inside the Game. USL new collective bargaining agreement. The league minimum has come up quite a bit. And if there's one indicator of progress or growth in a league, that's a pretty good one, and it's come up a significant amount. We'll talk about that on the other side. First, Barca Academy is a proud sponsor of the National Soccer Network. Thank you. And the official academy of FC Barcelona in the United States. Designed for boys and girls ages 6 to 18, Barca Academy camps follow and replicate the FC Barcelona game model. Same philosophy used by Barca's professional coaching staff. Right now, you can save $30 on registration by using promo code FCB30. Again, that's FCB30, or scan the QR code on your screen. Find a camp near you at fcbarcelona.us/camps.
In Barca camp, I see my son grown on and off of the field. Don't miss the time to register.
Sign up now for Barca camp.
It's Inside the Game, live across your airwaves here on the National Soccer Network, episode 283 here on NSN. Ryan, we've been discussing this point last couple of days and really the last couple of weeks as we get ready for the summer and everything that's going on in the United Soccer League. Again, Neil Rule coming up again on Friday. We'll talk to him again about the game of the week. We got a whole lot of interviews coming up on Friday, but big news out of the United Soccer League, the new collective bargaining agreement. Finally, we're able to put pen to paper, and we got a new agreement. It has raised the league minimum quite a bit in the United Soccer League, but there's a lot of other things that go into this, Ryan. So what are we kind of looking at with this new CBA here with the USL?
It's the main thing is really about player salary. It's up from $31,000 to $42,000. It'll be $67,000 once the Premier League starts. That'll be the Premier League minimum salary for the players. And the other thing was health insurance, health plans, and all that fun stuff.
Yep.
Players have been offered the front office health plan of that. So DCFC players could have the same health plan as their front office. However, I think based on what I've been reading and hearing, the players want their own separate health plan. They want their own thing for everything else, which I guess that's fair. But I mean, it's going to take a lot longer to get done. But it took almost 2 years to get this thing rolling. And then the other thing, just a couple of quotes from John Marissi, provide a new return for the players who are earning well under $100,000. Now that money is useful because it funds the Players Association. A lot of work was to cover their dues for players, which is cutting into their everyday compensation. Also, I think the win for the league is that they were able to get 25 championship clubs, USL Championship clubs, to come to an agreement. I think there's like 30 some odd teams in the USL Championship. But the biggest takeaways in all this thing is they're going to get more money, a new health insurance plan. They're going to get some sort of NIL name, image, and likeness going on with their clubs also for these players. That's a big thing that they wanted to harp on, and they wanted to help with fund the players associations. That's just the main takeaways. There's a couple other things that have to be ironed out, but those were the massive things they have to get done. And now we won't see the opening minute of USL Championship games where players are just standing around.
Yeah, and it is so reinvigorating to see this Players Association and the work they've done over the last couple of years to really close this job and get these guarantees for the players. I'll take a page out of my career so far and what I've seen in the baseball realm, because I do think it's relevant. When we talk about minor league baseball, when I started pre-2020, just as an intern, one of the main gripes about minor league ball was just the brutality of the entire experience. Number one, nutrition isn't what it is now. I mean, the Oakland Athletics got dinged for feeding their guys grilled cheese sandwiches after games. I mean, that's just how it was. Also, you had host families. These players did not have their own apartments or anything. They just had to live with whatever family was willing to host them at the time. Also, the minimum earnings as a minor leaguer or as a professional in general was dirt. I mean, you didn't make anything. You made nothing. The only way that you would ever survive off of money in the minor league experience is if you had signed a good signing bonus. That's it. I mean, the guys would live off that. And honestly, I mean, if it was big enough, you could probably retire on it. But the discrepancy between the top earners and those who were just in the league because they were picked up or signed as a free agent, I mean, the discrepancy was massive. As a matter of fact, I had a conversation with a guy yesterday who played before 2020, and he echoed all of those sentiments. And I want to give a shout out to someone that I work really closely with, Emily Walden at The Athletic, has done a lot of great work in that regard. But with the new, the Players Association came together, and there was a real movement in minor league baseball to come up with at least guarantees, right? Number one, we're going to get away from host families. Like, we're going to put you up in apartments, nice apartments. We're going to step up the nutrition, the earnings of minor leaguers. They make a lot more baseline. They make a lot more. Obviously, signing bonuses have gone completely bonkers over the last handful of years. But there are so many more guarantees when it comes to treatment of minor league players. And because of this, we are seeing them flame out a lot less early. We are seeing them be far more productive. And also some of the other nonsense that went on around the minor league experience is not happening anymore because they recrafted not only the schedules, but the money component to give these guys more guarantees so that, again, they don't feel like they have to defect or do these other things in order to, be able to stay in the United States, especially for the international players. Now, when it comes to the soccer side of this conversation and talking about the USL, players' rights, guarantees, more money, in all of this coming together under the one thing that Joel Nash said during our interview with him is a collective effort from all of the clubs involved to make sure that not only their players are compensated fairly, but they're looked after, they have guarantees like health insurance, and they can do all of this to make sure they get the most out of them. The focus in the USL has been on the players. It's not been on raising the bottom line and just making more money. It's not on creating an entertainment first product. This is about the focus on the players. And it took a long time and a lot of strings to be pulled and a lot of sacrifices from the USL as well as the players organization with all the work that they put in. But this is going to raise the level of play in the United Soccer League. This is going to raise the competitiveness of this league because when you provide guarantees, you provide an area in which players can feel like they can thrive. Now, does this, keep them around in the United States? No. I mean, obviously, if they perform well, they're going to go over to Europe. But if we can continue to cultivate an environment that takes care of the players and is a player-first league, it's going to keep a lot of really talented players here in the United States as this continues to get bigger and better. And obviously, you talked about that minimum earning continuing to go up when the premier level starts. All of this is a unified effort to take care of the most important thing in this entire realm, which is not the owners, it's not the broadcasters, it's not the fans, it's the players. That's the most important part. It always has been the most important part. It will always be the most important part. And this move from the USL really kind of cemented that. So kudos to the Players Association and the work they did to work out these guarantees for players, because you're not going to get a good product when they feel as if they're being taken advantage of. You're not going to get a good product when players aren't being fed and they have to find, 8 ways till Sunday to be able to afford to live before they can even play soccer. I mean, there's so many other concerns on the mind of these players that I'm sure extends well beyond the pitch. You're not going to get the best out of them if they're worrying about all that stuff. So, yeah, good work. Good work from the Players Association. This makes me happy, not as just a consumer, but obviously someone who's involved in it. And when you spend enough time around athletes, man, you realize that everything that they do is a full-time job. And I mean, to put your body on the risk for our entertainment, yeah, I mean, you should get every dime that's coming to you.
Yeah, I just don't think the USL realized how big that they were going to get. I think since post-COVID. So I don't think they necessarily had all the places, all the things that you need in place. I don't think they understood the popularity that was going to happen with their leagues. And it took a while, and obviously, money runs everything. And obviously, when you grow in popularity, you're going to get more broadcasting rights and more commercial revenue and all that fun stuff. So right. I think that I don't even think the USL, if you probably asked them 5 years ago when I first started watching the USL Championship and all that, I don't think you could have told me or the league where it was like, yeah, it's going to be this big and you're going to have to start paying these players potentially $50,000 or $30,000 more just in a couple of years.
I want to see the same energy out of you when DCFC goes on and wins a championship or something. Maybe we both wear kits, and I got to get some DCFC gear, man. I don't think I got anything while I was there.
Why didn't you get anything while you were there?
I don't know, man. I went to the gift shop and everything, but we were doing something else, so I walked away for a moment. I don't know. I kept my vest that makes me look like a security guard, but outside of that,
we were sitting for like 30 minutes just out in the concourse, quote unquote, and you didn't go into any of the gift shops out right there?
No, I'm sorry, I didn't. I will say, don't get two Polish dogs at DCFC because they are not small dogs; they are big dogs. And I asked my big dog co-host if he wanted some. He's like, "Nah, man, Polish guy over here doesn't want a Polish hot dog."
Yeah, because I had a giant burrito in my hand. I was like, and if I ate that, bad things will happen. Just saying, like. You will not want to stand by me. That's all I got to say if you were to feed me that.
Man.
I think with the new CBA and everything, the USL, I mean, obviously, like you mentioned, you want to get the players, everything that they need to perform at a high level because without them, you don't have a product. I just don't think – I think it just took a long time because, I mean, obviously the USL does not have the funding that the MLS has. They don't have that sort of money. I just don't think they understood. They're like, wait, this league's kind of growing at a fast rate. We might have to put some things in place. But at the same time, it's a good thing. It's a really good thing because they are growing this the authentic way. They are growing this league the right way. It's not, I mean, it kind of is. You got to pay your way into it. But obviously, if we get into the promotion relegation
you're
thing,
always going to have
change.
To spend money. Yeah.
But right now, right now you still have it's still the American way right now. I mean, we watched Atletico Dallas. We talked with all their Peter Luchin and the other owner. I forgot the guy's owner's name. But he was really cool interview. I mean, they had to pay to just get into the USL Championship. They bypassed League One. They bypassed League Two. They are already in the USL Championship starting next season. So there's still American sports ideologies there, but we're slowly getting to that place where it's going to be a truly authentic soccer experience. And I really am intrigued to see what it all looks like, what it compares, what the fans look like, what does it do to the MLS. I mean, we had Neil talk about Detroit City FC games were, not necessarily overtaking Detroit Tiger viewership, but it was kind of in the same ballpark, and it's only going to increase more, especially if the Tigers continue to keep
which is
sucking.
saying a lot, by the way, because the Tigers are a top 5 TV market in Major League Baseball.
And
so, I mean, if that gives you any sort of idea,
continue to suck here, it might grow even more. I mean, I don't even know. I got to look at the USL Championship standings.
Well, they just benefit from the Tigers do for that. They're just in a terrible division, so we might still stumble our way into
Detroit City's not far off the pace as number one in the conference. So I'm just saying, I think Detroit City, but to be fair, they always kind of start off hot and then they slowly go down as the games go on. But again, I think with
playing at
Keyworth, man. But again, we didn't even mention that yet. We didn't even mention that yet, because that was another thing that was said when we put it on the show a month or two ago, is they want better locker rooms or training facilities. Guys, they are growing just as much as you guys are growing. They don't have all the proper things in place yet, guys. Just
wait, who wants that? You're talking about the players?
Wanted better changing rooms. They wanted better locker rooms. Well, that takes massive amounts of money to build new stadiums. They're slowly getting there. Detroit City FC,
we've
Pittsburgh,
seen the arms race. Yeah, we've seen the arms race in the USL.
But I think to an extent, the players got to realize it might take a little bit of time to get there, but they're slowly getting the ball rolling. It's getting there. But I mean, to be honest, I think it's kind of badass that you go into Keyworth Stadium, you're an MLS side, and you're supposed to be all used to this and that, like all the glitz and the glamour, all the trainers, and you're put into a locker room that is the size of the studio that I'm currently in right now. Like, and it's all rusty, it's old. There's probably ceiling tiles falling off. There's probably rusty nails. Like, that's pretty sweet to me.
There's something so romantic about it, but also at the same time, again, the USL, and this is something that JT said this, and I agree, because I've seen it in person. I've seen it, when I've broadcasted games, whether it be at Midwest United or anything else. It's just the way the league carries itself. It's not amateur hour. They very much prioritize a level of professionalism, even in their formative stages, that is the part that the USL is very much taking itself seriously. Like, the USL has much bigger plans than I think what people actually give the league credit for. To your point, did they expect to go through the boom that they have?
No.
I don't think so. And so it's a good problem to have, because you're like, we almost have too many damn people that want to get involved in this thing. We have people that are sick of seeing what the MLS has become, which is just, it is a star-driven league, yes, but 3 or 4 stars, and then the rest of them are pretty much the players that would otherwise play in a league like the USL. They're just playing in the MLS, which is bigger by brand name and because of money. But again, like, money doesn't always tell you the truth. Like, one person can have more money, but the other person can be more brilliant and have better ideas. Like, money tells you a lot, but the USL is, like I said, I think to your point, learning very quickly that they're catching steam here really fast.
And I think that they've put it into places where, I mean, we've talked about it already on the show. MLS sides are in massive markets where they're already battling the NBAs, the NFLs, the MLBs, all that stuff. Like Detroit City FC, obviously they're battling all four.
Right.
They're battling all four. But if I'm looking at, Louisville City, they don't have anything. Charleston doesn't. North Carolina, yes. Hartford, no. Loudoun, no. Rhode Island, no. Indy, yes. Tampa Bay, yes. Miami, There lots of competition there. Birmingham, no. Tulsa, no. Sacramento's got 1. New Mexico, no. El Paso, no. Phoenix, a couple. San Antonio, 1. Orange County. Well, you get the point there. I mean, the rest. I mean, Vegas is the only other one. But I mean, Dallas, yes. But they have a good community out there already as it is, and we already talked about it with all their people. It's that's another impact of it too, because it feels like a true community. We can say the Detroit Lions, the Detroit Tigers, the Red Wings, whatever, is a community, but in reality, it's really not. The only community is just the fans. We can say the owners and do this, the teams do this, the players do it. To an extent, sure, but there's not a true community feel, I feel personally, with all those Detroit teams. Detroit City FC, much different.
Yeah, well, and I mean, you saw the hate for the MLS while we were there. I mean, it wasn't a secret.
That's been there for years.
These people don't like the MLS because so you don't think that group of people definitely wants to see this league get bigger than Major League Soccer. And if we're talking about a market like Detroit, I understand that like downtown Detroit has lost a lot of people since the auto manufacturing industry was like, we're out of here, we're going overseas. I get it. But the Metro Detroit area is massive. I think it's the second biggest metro area population-wise in the United States. Outside of, I think, Dallas, I think is the only one that's bigger in terms of the population around the actual city limits of Detroit, which it's wild how big the city of Detroit is. You can literally fit 3 major U.S. cities just inside the city limits of Detroit, Michigan, which is just freaking crazy to me. But yes, I mean, imagine giving that team an opportunity to be in the top league in the United States. Like, that's why they hate the MLS, because there's no passing in. I mean, they've had to do their own thing, but they've built a grassroots, passionate fan base that has carried them all these years.
Metro Detroit is 4.39 million, which is just outside the top 10 of metro areas in the United States.
Oh, but Detroit? Really? Oh,
yeah.
Whoops. All right. I guess
Phoenix,
I didn't realize it was that far down the list.
DC area, Philly, Atlanta, Miami, Houston, Dallas, Chicago, LA, New York metros are bigger. But no, Detroit's still big. I mean, we've got all the population in the world here in Metro Detroit. Yep. You go past Flint, there ain't nothing up there. Past that, there ain't nothing up there.
Yeah, I guess that's
fair.
Yeah.
West to Traverse City or Grand Rapids or anything to find like more than, I don't know, a million people maybe or something. I don't know. But it just, when it comes to like the big 4 pro sports teams, those 4 leagues, I don't feel a true community feel. The owners will say what they want. The players, the coaches will say they'll say the corporate lines. You know, the fans, we just love the fans. We do it for you. Yet it doesn't feel that way. It never really has. To me personally, you might disagree, but to me personally, I've never truly felt that way. But when it comes to DCFC, I think it's much different and all that stuff. And I think USL is doing it obviously the proper way. But then I look at, other leagues, in the United States, other soccer leagues, and they don't have the same followings as those teams do compared to the USL clubs. And I think it's taking some time. I'm sure maybe the players a couple of years ago were pissed off about all the different things, and rightfully so. But just know it probably takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of money. It takes a lot of new stadium infrastructure to get things proper. And I think they're slowly moving that way. And I think it's going to be, I don't really know. Like if you were to take the superstars, if you were to take Messi, Heung-min Son, if you were to take those foreign superstars out of the MLS, I don't necessarily know how much the league would last. I truly don't know. In terms of the viewers, in terms of the money and all that, because I think eventually the USL is going to start taking some of those viewers away. Because John said it on the show. I know we're like rambling on a ton here. I know there's a couple comments coming in. John said it back in the show when I got in, and oh my God, I just lost the train of thought. Oh, wow. I was reading comments, guys, and you guys got me all messed up. I completely forgot about it.
Oh, man.
Well, hey, man. There's something that John said I was going to give him credit for, but I completely forgot about it. Thanks, Fabian, James, and Schrock. The comments are, Fabian, why do university like soccer athletes from other countries rather go to, I don't know what the comment actually is, but Schrock responded, as a former small college SID that worked with the soccer teams, the talent tends to be better and an opportunity for those wanting to move up in American soccer. I'm sure they're talking about college soccer. James, Detroit fans are so rabid. We might as well be the biggest city in the world. Sure feels that way at certain moments in time. But to be honest with you, James, I don't really want to drive down expressways that are 7-8 lanes wide. I'm completely fine with the 3-4 maximum.
Yeah.
So I don't want to be too big where we've got to have 8 lanes on an expressway. I would rather just chill with my
Probably
3.
could use another one though. With how Detroit traffic is. But
no, then
I'll
just
say
create
this
more
before,
traffic. That's the common
That's
misconception.
I'll say this before we head to break. I know we got to get to Who to Betta as well
Thanks,
as
Dad.
our all
He says you have
content.
CRS. Can't remember shit. I was getting I'm doing so many different things here, Dad. Get back
My
to
man's
work.
just on one today.
Get back to work, Dad.
But I realize it does.
Which, by the
take
way,
time.
that dude forgets many more things than I forget.
I mean, he's got a few years on you, Ryan. You just start to forget stuff once you get to 30. You know, I'm
Hey, Dad,
almost
when's
there
the
too, and
Bruno
I'm
Mars concert? Was it
forgetting.
the weekend before? The weekend after? Oh, wait, it's this weekend. My bad. He asked me that question for like 3 weeks.
Oh, my making plans with my father is a trip, man. That's a whole thing in and of itself. He asks the same question at least 5 times. But legal representation is important. I realize it takes time for the USL to get to the point to where they are, but you know, if leagues, you're dealing with millionaires and billionaires. If they actually treated athletes the way they deserve to be treated and gave them the money that they deserve, there would be no need for agents. There would be no need for players associations. And so that's why it's important to have those people to apply the pressure on these owners, because the player stepping up and being like, you know, screw you is not going to go well for the player. The legal rep, a little bit different. So that's why I say when I'm giving my kudos to the Players Association, they put the pressure on, they got the results they wanted. So it's all good stuff. But let's get into Who to Betta as well as our all sports content here coming up on the other side. Appreciate all you guys dropping in the chat. Man City Soccer Camps are a proud sponsor of the National Soccer Network, bringing world-class training inspired by Man City's global football philosophy. Players across the United States, open to boys and girls of all skill levels. These camps focus on technical development, decision-making, and playing the game the City way. Right now, you can save $30 on registration by using promo code MCNSN30. Again, that's MCNSN30, or you can scan the QR code on your screen. Find a camp near you, usacamps.mancity.com. Inside the Game rolls along here on the National Soccer Network, episode 283 here on NSN. Getting back to one of our segments we love to do week after week that I feel like we haven't done in like a month. I don't remember the last time we did Who to Betta.
It was JJ Weatherholt and Kevin McGonigal.
Oh,
was
yes,
the last
Kevin
one.
McGonigal. It's funny. I was actually asked yesterday if I could keep one of those players, whether Holt, I think it was Roman Anthony or Kevin McGonigal, who I could keep for the next 10 years. Who would it be? I would also take God, but without being biased, I said Roman Anthony because that dude's just a beast. But anyways,
so there's a couple comments coming through the break. I gotta say this one to James. This is a great comment coming from him. That's like, this might be the best comment of the day. He goes, 3 to 4 lanes. Where's that at? It's 1 to 2 and then cones. That's a very good point, James. That's a very good point. Fabian says Detroit sucks because they don't have White Castle. James says, we've got White Castle everywhere. Fabian said, just kidding. I said, west side of the state doesn't have it. James goes, we don't have we don't talk about the west side of the state. And I go, yes, the west side of the state talks more about the east side of the state than we talk about the west side of the state. You're
not from Detroit, by the way. You're not from Detroit. But anyways, continue. None of y'all are from Detroit.
Just like you're
talk
not
about
from
Shelby
Grand
Township.
Rapids.
I am from Grand Rapids. I live in downtown Grand Rapids. I am from GR. Yeah, y'all claiming Detroit, living like 30 minutes outside of Detroit.
When have I ever said on the show that I'm from the city? Well, I'm from Detroit. When have I ever said that?
You haven't. Yeah, I'm not. I'm just saying. This is.
But when we got to describe the people on the map,
hey man,
we go here. We just say Detroit.
Hey, man. Yeah, we got the best boxer of all time. We got a president from Grand Rapids. I don't know, man. I mean, we got some other notable figures. So I mean,
from what I've been told, from Stick over at Woodward Sports when he was doing radio on the west side of the state, he goes, the west side of the state cares way too much about the east side of the state of Michigan. He goes, the east side don't even care about what you guys are doing over there, but you guys care way too much about what the east side of the state is doing. I don't think I've ever woke up and thought to myself, man, what is the west side of the state?
We get a little east side, west side beef here on the show. You're on Inside the Game. I like that. Let's go.
James says, I'm from a mile north of Detroit. LOL. Close enough. Yeah, I guess that's close enough.
No, ain't Detroit, so can't claim it.
Aren't you like a mile outside of Grand Rapids?
No, I'm in Grand Rapids. I am in downtown Grand Rapids. I'm inside city limits from the 616.
You're just outside real downtown Grand Rapids. You're like basically the burbs.
I could literally throw a stone and hit a building downtown. Probably not. I mean, it'd be quite a toss, but
James, what I would say is the equivalent of you being from Detroit is the equivalent to Nate being from Grand Rapids. So yes, you can claim it, James. I will
show
give you that
where
props.
in the city limits I am. I'll show you where in the city limits I am. I will. I'll do it too. I'll do it if you want it. I'm just saying.
Fabian wants to know what boxer, which best boxer of all time. You might start an argument here.
Floyd Money Mayweather. There, Fabian.
That's not Muhammad Ali.
Initially.
So no, I wouldn't say
he
he's the best
also
boxer.
isn't a heavyweight. So I mean, you can't really compare the two. Yeah.
Muhammad Ali, greatest of all time. All right, let's get into the weakest Huda Beta of all time we've ever had on this show. This doesn't even ponder a Huda Beta at this point, but based on
because we already know.
But based on
But yeah, go ahead.
But based off social media world, this has to be thrown in there. Props to Nate for putting this one in there. Huda Beta, Austin Rivers, or Draymond Green. This is what we've come to in this world.
Man.
Go ahead.
We got it. So we got to give a little bit of the backstory here. All right. So this is not in terms of types of players and everything else along those lines. Oh, we got a fun comment in there. Who we got
Schrock,
from?
Just looked it up. Nate definitely is in the GR city limits. Source, trust me, bro.
My guy. You should trust him. Hey, he's a trustworthy fella. That Schrock guy.
Schrock says, in all seriousness, I will report back after my trip to GR this weekend. Look at you two hanging out. Are you two hanging out this weekend? I guess.
Yeah, he's coming to the game on Saturday. So I'm
shout out
him and them. So yeah,
Schrock will be the moment of truth if Nate is truly from Grand Rapids or not.
I will say the ballpark's not. That's in Comstock Park. But anyways, this Huda Beta. Draymond Green, obviously Steve Kerr will not be the coach of the Golden State Warriors anymore.
It better not be Dusty May.
it's scary, but took the opportunity to essentially say that Steve Kerr, offensively speaking, kind of held him back, hindered him in his career, which I thought was ridiculous on its face.
Wait,
I think
Draymond said that about Steve
hold
Kerr?
on, hold on, Ryan, which I think is ridiculous on its face. It's absolutely ridiculous on its face because scoring was never Draymond Green's calling
Draymond Green was
card.
dumb, but I didn't know he was that dumb.
Draymond had a few things to say about his NBA career. And again, was great in so many ways, but again, scoring was not Draymond Green's thing. So Austin Rivers, came back by saying, and very passionately, may I add, that it's a little ridiculous that he would go after Steve Kerr like that because Steve Kerr got him to where he is. That Warriors franchise got him to where he is. And that quote, Draymond was the luckiest player in NBA history. Ryan, you're a little bit less separated, I guess, from high school or college than I am. But it's funny. One of the funniest phenomena of when you're in high school and you're junior, senior year, you always remember those kids that were legends in high school and then they graduate and then 3-4 years later they somehow find a way to circle back around and they show up like it's a guest appearance, like there's some sort of celebrity rolling up at school again to say hi to everybody. Like anyone really cares to see them again. Like, yeah, okay, you were great in high school. Get out of high school. Go live your life somewhere else. And Austin Rivers going after Draymond Green, even despite what Draymond said on his podcast, which again, I agree with you, is kind of ridiculous that he would say that about Steve Kerr, is just hilarious to me. For many reasons. Number one, Austin Rivers, and this is what Draymond said, Austin Rivers would not have been in the position in the NBA that he was if it wasn't for his dad and Doc Rivers. He would not have had $200 million career earnings. He was a washout in the NBA. In college, he was the man. I mean, he was headline news at Duke. I mean, Draymond Green was a workhorse at Michigan State, but he wasn't grabbing headlines the way that Austin Rivers was. I mean, in high school, they averaged about the same points, but I mean, Rivers had a lot more acumen, and again, a 10th round draft pick in that same draft that Draymond Green was selected in when he was selected 35th. So in terms of head starts into the NBA, not even close. Now, here's the thing about this current culture of basketball fans, and it's one of the reasons that completely turns me off to basketball in the NBA. The only things that people ever look at are two things: points and championships. It's the same exact argument when you talk to me about Michael Jordan. Points and champion. Well, you can't even use points, but you can use championships if you'd like. But those are the only two things that we point at when talking about someone's greatness. Okay, Draymond Green's impact in his NBA career.
Should we get to like who to better real quick, and then we could give our reasons for who to better at this point? Because we're getting into like
I'm getting to that point. Who to better in the NBA in terms of their NBA careers? It's bar none Draymond Green. The Warriors all time without Draymond Green on the floor with Golden State, which, by the way, I think it's ironic people hate on the guy, but he spent his entire career in one place. Anyways, Warriors are a sub 500 team in his career all time without him being on the floor. If you want me to take that a step further, he's missed 2 playoff games. They are 1-1 in the 2 playoff games that he's missed in his career. 500. If the only way we're going to measure impact is by the amount of points that you score, well, then I'm sure that Kyle Korver must be one of the greatest basketball players of all time. I'm sure there are many other players that have scored a ton of points that should be considered much greater in their NBA careers than what Draymond was. But scoring points was not where his impact was felt. It's hypocritical for him to say that Steve Kerr held him back. He didn't hold him back at all, especially offensively. But being the guy for the design screens, being an all-NBA defensive player multiple times, being the best defensive player on that team in 2017, when again they had the Avengers, and they had to put the Avengers together to beat LeBron James. You can't blame the Warriors. They had to do that to beat LeBron. His impact defensively and rebounding, he's the first player ever to reach 500 in rebounds, assists, and points all at the same time. First player in NBA history to ever do so. So the flash and the glam and what we saw from Austin Rivers in college, hey, that's great. But man, when you got to the NBA, your impact was nada. And can we really blame Draymond Green for being drafted into an organization that knows what they're doing? Can we blame that on an individual player? Like, oh, how dare you? You got drafted by an organization that puts you in a good position. Like, how dare Patrick Mahomes get drafted by the Chiefs and be put into a place in which he's going to thrive? How dare these other first-round picks that go to the Lions or the Jets or the Browns or any of these other places that see their careers flame out in a year? How dare they go to those places? No, man, I ain't going to hold it against him that he got drafted by the Warriors. But if you look at the numbers, you'll see the impact that he's made. I understand the NBA Hall of Fame is a place that, I feel like anybody can kind of get in. And it is weak in some ways. But if I do agree, he is a Hall of Famer. He is a Hall of Famer through and through. And so if we're going to do who to bet, I just thought I would take an opportunity to kind of go after Austin Rivers. Because listen, I'm not going to bash you on nepotism. Okay, there's a reason why Bronny James is playing in the NBA right now. And I mean, we know why he's playing in the NBA right now. My man averaged 2 points at USC or whatever the hell it was. So I'm not going to bash you on nepotism, but sometimes it pays to understand why you were in that position in the first place and kind of watch it when you're going after Draymond Green. So anyways, I don't like Draymond slander. I really don't.
So look, back to your 1-1 in playoff games without him. That was his fault because he got ejected. So I think that stat is irrelevant because that's Draymond's fault because he swung at LeBron and stepped on Sabonis. I think that stat is a little irrelevant. 2, if Draymond doesn't swing at LeBron, they probably win another championship, but he did that and all the momentum swung back to the Cavs and all that and then forced a Game 7. So I think your 1-1 stat is a little irrelevant in this whole thing. I will say Draymond Green is the better NBA basketball player than Austin Rivers. I mean, Austin Rivers, his best years is when his dad was the coach and he was playing 15. He was dropping 15 points a game, 12 points per game. But let's not fault the NBA for giving dudes who average 12 points a game $30 million a year. Let's not fault that. That's what happens all the time in the NBA because the NBA has stupid money. So the $200 million in the grand scheme of things, might not really be a whole lot to NBA because of the absurd contracts that certain players get. Yeah. I think Chandler Parsons was getting like $35 million a year for existing. I will say Draymond is better. But I will say, I mean, he kind of is one of the luckiest players of all time. He had the greatest shooters of all time. He had arguably the greatest basketball team of all time. And I'm not going to discredit his basketball IQ. I think he's a very smart basketball player. What hurts him is his mouth, his arrogance, his yelling at everyone, his crashing out on everyone. I think let's be real, it's a big thing. I mean, we are just comparing like two weak who to bet us at this point. I really can't really say anything because Draymond Green is.
My whole point was that one's not weak, the other is weak. Yeah, the one, aka Austin Rivers, because obviously he's in the media now, gets to claim whatever he wants to claim. Is he lucky for getting drafted by the Golden State Warriors? Yes, I think anybody would be fortunate to be selected by an organization where you know they're going to put you in a position to succeed. The only way you're not going to is if you don't follow the program. Of course he's lucky. Of course.
But I'm just saying, dude should never blame Steve Kerr for anything because Steve Kerr designed the Warriors along with Mark Jackson should get a lot of credit for instilling the defensive mindset. But I mean, when Steve Kerr got there, Draymond Green was like a bench guy. Like he was an afterthought. It was David Lee was the guy that was going to be in his place. He was going to be the power forward. And then Steve Kerr kind of transformed the offense into what it was, obviously, to what it was. Obviously now it's not what it was anymore with Klay Thompson being gone and all that stuff. Draymond Green's obviously an integral part of the entire Warriors dynasty, but I don't know. I just feel like we're just wasting breath on this Huda Betta between Austin Rivers and Draymond Green. We could have had so many Huda Bettas, and it's just two players that I've never would have thought in 1,000 years I would have compared. To be completely honest with you, Nate. But I mean, Draymond Green's going to run his mouth. We know that. Austin Rivers is going to run his mouth. It's their NBA players. They're prima donnas. They expect everything in the world to just come straight to their lap because they're in the NBA. That's the reality of this. But yeah, I mean, I'm not going to disagree with you, Draymond Green. The only thing I'll disagree with you is your 1-1 playoff stat. That's if Draymond isn't an idiot, he doesn't even miss the playoffs.
All I'm saying is, I mean, generally speaking, if you're winning NBA championships, you're probably a top 10 defense in the NBA. Like, we can't forget about that.
Hold on,
But,
a couple comments. Fabian throwing in some shots. This is maybe we may have to put Nate on the full screen here. LeBron's a bougie poodle. LeBron 4 out of 10. Money
poodle.
Mayweather cherry picks his fights and lost to Jose Luis Castillo.
Oh, get that garbage out of here. Oh, he lost to De La Hoya. He lost to Marcos Maidana. You couldn't touch the guy. You couldn't touch the guy. You can't hit a target you can't see. Okay, he introduced a new way of boxing, and it's a way of boxing, and much like LeBron in the NBA. Okay, LeBron brought in the player first generation of NBA basketball. Floyd Mayweather, who I think is brilliant in the way. Now you don't like that, like the antics or the way that he goes about his business. The type of boxing that he introduced in the shoulder rolling and the not taking damage. He's like, you look at all the other boxers that came before him, Ali, all of these guys who have CTE and these other things. They can't walk, they can't talk, they can't do any of those things. He goes, the best way to go out and win is to make sure I don't get hit. And the guy was quite literally invisible. Fabian, he got knocked down once, momentarily, in his career. Once.
I like that you emphasize the career part.
Once.
Career.
I mean, thank
I got you emphasize it.
But over 50, knocked down once. He faced De La Hoya. He faced Pacquiao. Conor McGregor, I really can't, but McGregor got a few shots in on him, but all of those guys.
McGregor's not even a boxer.
Yeah, but he was knocked down once. One time. And it was like down to a knee for like 5 seconds. So there's no better defensive boxer in the history of boxing than Floyd Mayweather. Best heavyweight of all time is Muhammad Ali.
Manny Pacquiao should have beat Floyd Mayweather. Just saying.
The bougie poodle, yeah, that's funny. I do think that's
Manny
funny.
Pacquiao
But,
should beat Floyd Mayweather. Just saying. She should have got that result.
Did you say she?
I said he should have got that result.
Oh, I thought you said she. I was like, well,
No,
Manny's a man.
He should have. He should have got that result.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. No, but in terms of the bougie poodle thing, I mean, listen, man, like that same Warriors team, like they had to get KD to beat LeBron. Like they had to.
They beat LeBron without KD.
Clay, Steph, Draymond weren't enough before.
Fabian faced
the 3-1
them.
deficit.
Steph, Clay, and Draymond beat LeBron already. 2015.
It's true.
He faced them.
Didn't do it the second year.
The second year, if Draymond doesn't swing and be an idiot, they probably win that one too. Okay, so a couple MMA fights out here. We'll try to talk about Pistons Cavs when we get in, but Fabian, he faced them while they were in wheelchairs.
They were on two legs. I mean, from what I saw,
Hey, Fabian, if you can't beat Logan Paul, I don't necessarily know if you're the greatest boxer of all time. That's all I gotta say. Ooh, I've never heard. Again, I'm not that big of an MMA guy, but Fabian says, and the best defensive fighter was Nicolino Lochte. You know who that is?
Mixed martial arts, MMA, or boxing.
Or boxing. My bad. I'm not a boxing guy. Not a fighting guy. I watch him.
Yeah.
I like it, but I don't like pay attention like I should. The best defensive fighter was Nicolino Lochte. That's what I'm assuming. Jake Paul from Schrock says Jake Paul should have never beaten Tyson. Probably not. That just gives boxing a bad rap.
Dude, that was elder abuse from the beginning. That should have never been allowed.
They just wanted money. That's all he wanted.
I'll say this about Lochte. You know what cracks me up about these old boxers is how much they fought. Like, I don't think they like clearly
because
medicine.
No one cared about your mental well-being back then.
But
they're like, you can move,
wins
you can talk, fight
in 4 years. Holy crap, man! Was he fighting pizza delivery drivers? Who the hell was this dude boxing? Oh man!
Remember, Fabian does have like an MMA gym. I think he's like an MMA owner somewhere down in. I think his gym's Puerto Rico. Just remember that.
Yeah.
So he knows ball.
That's crazy. 117 wins in 4 years. Goodness gracious.
He knows gloves or
the
rings.
Untouchable.
I don't know what you say when it comes to boxing and fighting.
No, I will say Floyd has been very smart about the fights that he has picked and the fights that he has accepted. But You know, I mean, being a good
It's almost like
businessman, I feel
LeBron
like
just picking and choosing what team he wants to join.
hey, man, being a good businessman is half the battle, I feel like, especially in boxing, too, with how crooked boxing can be. And I'm sure Fabian can probably touch on just how crooked and sideways the boxing is, because even with the scoring and everything, I mean, like, yeah, I mean, make a lot of good points there. But let's get into Pistons talk. What, you want to take one more break, or you just want to get right into it?
I mean, it's 30-45, so yeah, good job, Pistons. Way not to suck. Good job to the Pistons.
Good point there,
Pistons won
Ryan.
again.
Yeah, they did. They did one again. You know what? You know who Asar Thompson reminds me of a little bit?
Who?
Just because someone told me that he reminds them of someone, and I look back at some of the highlights of this particular individual, and it kind of rings true. I was told, and from again watching and listening and talking to different people who were alive during this era, the Bulls' Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman.
I can't say that because Asar knows how to at least put the ball in the basket a little bit.
That is true. That is true.
Dennis
so
just couldn't do anything offensively. Like,
no,
you give him the ball, it's like,
right.
Dude, take it.
Yeah, no, I know. And him dribbling the basketball, he even said that. Like, his name's Paul. He works with me at the ballpark. But he's like, anytime Dennis Rodman would get a rebound and attempt to dribble, it would be horrifying. It would be like, hey, give up the basketball. Like, that what are you doing? But the way that Asar Thompson impacts a game, I see why people say he's untouchable sometimes, because of his rebounding, because of his fight, his attitude, all of those things. I feel like he combined a lot of that last night. And so that was really cool to see. And so I see a lot of Rodman in the way that Asar Thompson plays. But yeah, man, just the attitude, the takeaways. Tobias Harris has been playing really well. Duncan Robinson's been playing extremely well too, man. I mean, I this the edge and the attitude he played with yesterday. If we get Miami Heat Robinson for this series or the remainder of the stretches, we might be in for some fun. Look, that's all I'll say about that.
If we're able to get a full Robin performance out of someone, Duncan or Duran or Tobias with Cade, because
Danish Jenkins.
Okay, I have mixed feelings about Danish Jenkins because, man, does he piss me off. There is, when it comes to the Pistons, if we're able to get a solid Robin performance out of someone, because we know Cade's going to get his. Franz Wagner is his kryptonite for whatever reason, almost like Iguodala was in the 2015 series to LeBron and James. That's how he won MVP all of a sudden. Steve Kerr, which, by the way, Draymond, if Steve Kerr doesn't make the switch of putting Iguodala on LeBron, you might not win that series either. Thanks, Steve Kerr. You bashing Steve Kerr might be the dumbest thing I've ever heard someone say. Anyway, when I looked at the Pistons game, it felt like they finally had that sense of urgency, and that's what they talked about. That's what they all talked about, not having that sense of urgency in the Magic series at the beginning. Now I think they got punched in the mouth a little bit, and then they're starting to figure things out. Just looking at the box score, 20 points from Tobias. Uncle T yet again. Cade, 23. Duncan Robinson, 19, as you mentioned, which, by the way, I loved him getting in the face of James Harden. I absolutely loved that. Duncan says, I don't celebrate threes, but I'll celebrate twos. Don't know how that makes sense, but he will celebrate twos, I guess. Which, by the way, James Harden, 7 turnovers yesterday. 7 turnovers. If you're getting locked up by Duncan Robinson, you might as well just quit the game of basketball. James Harden, besides the end of the game, James Harden did absolutely nothing in that game. I mean, you look at the free throws, 9 of his 22 points came from the line. I get it's a whole art and all that fun stuff. Donovan Mitchell looked awful. I know he dropped 23 points, but I'm completely fine with him shooting 4 of 10 from outside the arc, I guess. Like, you're going to jack up that many threes, completely fine. I think the Jarrett Allen thing played a little bit of a factor. I will say that, with him getting in foul trouble early. But to the Danish Jenkins part, this is so bright right now. Danish Jenkins might be the stupidest basketball player I think I've ever seen play the game of basketball. It's the amount of times I had to see this guy chuck up a contested step-back 3 or just full go, head down, don't even scan the floor at all. But I will say this. He made up for it yesterday with the defensive rebounds, the offensive rebounds, playing defense late in that game. But offensively, dude, oh my God. If I get a heart attack watching this guy play, the game of basketball. He just is straight up 1v1. I'm driving the basketball, or I'm taking a step back 3. Danis, if you just slow down a second, just scan a little bit. Instead of under 10 seconds of the shot clock, I got to do all these moves. Just scan a little bit or give up the basketball. You are not that good of a basketball player to be doing that. You're not that capable of doing that. Just dump the ball down to Duran or dump it into Uncle T. Find Cade or something. Do not try to play hero ball, because if you do hero ball, I am going to get pissed off, because you are not that guy, pal. You're not that guy. You are not that guy, Danis.
As a G leaguer, he was 12-7 and 4 steals yesterday. That's pretty damn good. That's pretty damn good.
I'm saying in the defensive side of things, the offensive rebounds, the defensive rebounds, he made up for it. But I am saying offensively, Danis, get rid of the basketball. You are not that guy. You are not that guy to sit there and play just spam skill moves on NBA 2K and just try to get to the basket. Stop doing it, Danis. You are not that guy. Your name is not Cade Cunningham or Tobias Harris. Give up the basketball in those moments. You're not him.
Oh man. Also, bench is cleared yesterday between Tigers and Red Sox. Frankly, I don't care to talk about it. I mean, it's just Framber Valdez being a head case. Which I mean, that's
there's a reason why he did it.
Why did he do it?
Eric Hosmer broke it down. You can check it all on Twitter.
Why he threw at Trevor Story?
Yeah, there's a whole video on why he did it. Eric Hosmer broke it down really well.
Because he gave up back-to-back homers?
Nope. He was pissed that when the Red Sox would get on second base, that they were telling the signs to the hitter, and they were pissed off. Valdez was pissed off about it, and then chucked it at him. Eric Hosmer breaks it down.
Okay, so are we justifying what Framber Valdez did yesterday?
Dude, the team is 500. I could have cared less what the Tigers did yesterday. Those are the least amount on my mind.
Also,
I saw Arsenal make a Champions League final. I saw the Pistons win a playoff game. I could give two shits about what the Detroit Tigers did yesterday.
Could care less. Steal signs in modern baseball? I mean, I understand you can see where the catcher's setting up, but we have pitch com now. There's no excuse for that.
Just
in
watch
my mind.
Hosmer.
Also, I think it's a little tacky to see Andy Dirks claiming that he didn't deserve to be thrown out of the game. I mean, it's just, I don't know. But
watch Eric Hosmer on Twitter. It'll tell you. It's a 4-minute video.
Pitch better. Like that's. I mean, everybody deals with runners on second base. He ain't the only one. So, anyways, let's get into question of the day.
Just watch that video. It'll tell you everything. Salt Athletic, an official sponsor of us here at the National Soccer Network. Use promo code NSN15 to save 15% off the number one spell-proof glue bag that 100% works. Scan the QR code on your screen, I did do it. Whew, there we go. Or scan the QR code on your screen or visit saltathletic.com today. But question of the day. Would you want to get paid $50,000 to just watch every World Cup game, all 104 World Cup games? All your job is to watch. This is a real job position, by the way, from FIFA.
God.
Or Fox, I should say.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yes. The answer is yes. Next question.
So the exact job is Fox and Indeed launched nationwide search for one qualified fan hired by Fox to watch all 104 World Cup games. I forget the exact title for it, but it's like official, it's like head of World Cup watcher.
So, as someone who watches every single match and is getting paid $50,000, what are you doing by watching every single match? Like, what's in the job description? Like, I imagine there has to be some sort of social or like multimedia component to this. I mean, unless people are actually just paying people to sit and watch a game, that would be a pretty dope job. I would take that one in a heartbeat.
The job is called Fox One Chief World Cup Watcher. That is exactly
that's it. That's
called.
The job description.
So your job is watching every minute of Fox Sports coverage of all 104 matches in 4K on Fox One, the official streaming platform of FIFA World Cup 26, making their fandom shine from a custom-built viewing space amidst thousands of daily visitors, tourists, and commuters in the heart of time, creating and sharing social content authentic to them throughout the tournament, showing they're the authority in watching and sharing for every match. So they basically just want you to do watch parties, is basically what it is.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right. So like when we see like
they want the emotional, they want the emotions to run high. That's basically what they want.
Yeah. So is this like are these people being live streamed then, I assume, or filmed watching
Fabian,
these
you apply
matchups?
on Indeed.
Okay.
It's also like an Indeed advertisement, sponsorship, something like that. But that is a real job. Chief World Cup watcher. I would totally do it. I just may not get to. I may have to tell John, but I can't broadcast these games this summer. I'm watching the World Cup.
So in a stretch of 2 months, they essentially pay you what the guy who goes out on Deadliest Catch. They're paying you more than what that guy's making.
I don't know how much the Deadliest Catch guy makes.
This is freaking bizarre, man. Have you ever watched Deadliest Catch?
Nope.
Great show. Freaking wild what those dudes do. I've considered it as a plan B for my career. If the whole sports thing doesn't work out, I'll just go catch crab in the Alaskan, the bitter Alaskan cold.
Sounds horrible.
What the hell, man? $50,000 to watch a couple of games? My lord,
not a couple.
I mean,
all 104.
Man. Well, that's true. It's a lot of matches, but goodness, I mean, I could see this being a situation where that maybe if it's like a constant, like a live stream or something, so you can almost watch the watchers. Because I do, like, even with some of the other big sports matchups, like when Barstool does their, they'll have all the guys watching, or like I know we saw like obviously Woodward and their reaction to the NFL draft recently, like something like that. I do enjoy watching those streams. So I almost have to wonder if that's like a part of it. You know what I mean? Like the official cheering section.
You are making roughly $500 a game. Just sit there and watch.
Ouch.
Soccer. All day long.
So in other words, you're already putting in your application.
Oh, 100%. Why wouldn't I?
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, good. Well, I look forward to not seeing you on the show for the next couple of months, and then you magically reappearing after the World Cup.
Yeah, who's going to produce this thing?
Oh, man. Hey, I wanted to extend a special thank you to everybody joining us here on the show, as well as anyone dropping into the comment section. Again, no show coming up tomorrow. I will be, obviously, I got an 11 a.m. game, so that'll be a fun one, but no show tomorrow. We will have a show the following day. Again, Neil Rule set to join us on that one. We'll also have a couple of other people as we continue to ramp up for the USL season and everything that's involved with that. But 284 coming up on Friday. Again, when we talk to those people, give us a follow on social media, National Soccer Network, again, as well as Sports Nation. That is sports with a Z. But until we talk to you guys on Friday, keep it locked. We'll talk to you then here on Inside the Game.